I am a huge fan of Star Wars, and I know there's been a lot of bad and negative news out there. There's also been some good, but the one thing that I am most excited for and have the most faith in is Star Wars Jedi Prime. That's right, James Mangold's Star Wars project. Now, it's not officially called Jedi Prime or Dawn of the Jedi, but that's what people are calling it. I love Star Wars Jedi Prime. And today, we're going to cover everything. The latest leaks, rumors, confirmations, timeline, plot, villains, you name it. Everything we know about Jedi Prime. And in a recent interview, producer Simon Emanuel referred to it as James Mangold's Jedi Prime. So we probably won't end up with that name, but it would be really cool if we did. Drop a like, make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications, and get in the comments because I read every single comment on every single video. And the big note was that it's set thousands and thousands of years before the original trilogy. Now that time period lines up. Mangold himself confirmed the film takes place a staggering 25,000 years before episode 4. It's far beyond any Star Wars story we ever had. And today, we cover all of it. And stick around because one fan theory might actually just make you really think. It ties in to The Last Jedi. We'll talk about that later on in the video. But first, let's talk about the title. The most tantalizing leak is the title. In an SFX magazine interview cited by Geek Tyrant and Comic Book Movie themselves, Simon Emanuel slipped up and called Mangold's movie Jedi Prime. If that's true, Star Wars Jedi Prime would replace the unofficial Dawn of the Jedi name. Now, no one has confirmed that, but we want to. Geek Tyrant writes, and Emanuel said James Mangold's Jedi Prime is set thousands and thousands of years before the original trilogy, and I'm really excited to see what happens there. Comic Book Movie also reported the same quote and notes, Jedi Prime may have major implications for the movie itself. After all, Prime Jedi is the mysterious figure in that mosaic in The Last Jedi, and we'll talk about that later on in the video. And just the fact that it's going to be set 25,000 years in the past and it's not linked to the Skywalker saga just makes me really excited. I'm not hating on the Skywalker saga. I just think it's time to move on. And there's so many places in this universe to tell stories. Why not at the beginning? Now, despite the excitement, remember, this is a rumor. One insider said on Reddit Star Wars Leaks, this sounds potentially more like a working title than anything intended to be actually a final title. For now, though, Jedi Prime is unconfirmed, but I think it has a cool ring to it. Let me know in the comment section. Would you go watch a movie called Star Wars Jedi Prime? Think about it. We would be on a string of wins. Star Wars Starfighter, that's awesome. Star Wars Jedi Prime, let's go. So now, 25,000 years ago. So what does that actually mean? Well, all signs point to the very first Jedi, about 25,000 years before Luke Skywalker. In multiple interviews, Mangold has emphasized this distant era. Empire magazine reports Mangold saying the movie takes place 25,000 years before any known Star Wars movie. And then Bespin Bulletin, they noted Mangold wants the origins of the first ever Jedi. World of Rip clarified it's set 25,000 years before the events of The Phantom Menace, which gives Mangold the freedom to make something completely original and not handcuffed to so much lore, not handcuffed to the Skywalker saga. But why would you go back that far? Well, he loves the idea of an epic origin story. Think Ben-Hur or the 10 Commandments of the Force here. He said he pitched Lucasfilm on telling the birth of the Force, where did it come from, who found it, who was the first Jedi, and by picking 25,000 BBY, he ensured, there's no familiar characters, there's no conflicts, nothing's forced in, nothing is shoehorned in, we don't even know about Emperor Palpatine here, right? Maybe we get hints of existing lore, but it would have to be super subtle. So speaking of lore and plots, the origin of the Force, if it's about the origins of the Jedi and the Force, what could we expect? Well, Mangold's own words give it clues. He's describing a story about the Force being discovered and understood for the first time. He literally said he sees it as the entire story of its own, the birth of the Force. Where did it come from? How is it found? Who was the first Jedi? And that is what he's writing now. In other words, you could expect a truly origin story. And I want to know, how was it discovered? Who was the first Jedi? What did the first Jedi even look like? Fans have already connected the title to existing lore. The Prime Jedi mosaic introduced in The Last Jedi may not have been a random symbol. Wikipedia notes that the Prime Jedi was the founder of the Jedi Order on the planet something, ahch-to, around 2025 BBY. Now that mosaic first appeared in The Last Jedi and it was drawn by concept artist Seth Engstrom. Comic Book Movie pointed out the Prime Jedi was the first Jedi to use the Force and then founded the Jedi Order on that planet. I mean, this is the character Mangold would focus on? Maybe, I don't know. If Jedi Prime does indeed reference that figure, we could be seeing the very first ever Jedi warrior, maybe even meeting the original Jedi Masters themselves. Now, Legend Materials had a whole backstory for the Dawn of the Jedi era, new canon that hasn't been fleshed out yet, but the hints are there. Endless temples on that planet, mysterious teachings carved in stone, even ancient alien species touched by the Force. Maybe the movie will show the discovery of midichlorians or the first lightsaber building ceremonies. I mean, I don't know. It's all ambitious, but we could literally get anything here. Now, you can't have a Star Wars saga, movie, trilogy without villains. Who's the bad guy? Bad girl, bad team, whatever. I mean, we have no announcement. Mangold hasn't named any characters. Lucasfilm, they're very tight-lipped. That being said, fans, especially on Reddit, well, they like to speculate, and that's what we like to do on this channel. One popular thought is, if this movie digs into Prime Jedi, maybe the villain is the first dark side wielder, essentially a proto-Sith or a betrayer within the Jedi Order. Legend lore suggests the first Dark Lord of the Sith was a fallen Jedi named ahch-to. I hope I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. And was led to exile as the Dark Jedi tens of thousands of years ago. He and his followers fought a 100-year darkness war against the Jedi. So it's pure fan theory territory. But imagine if ahch-to or a similar figure appears as the antagonist. Now, nobody knows if Jedi Prime will follow legends or chart a new course. Lucasfilm could invent entirely new names for any Sith-like cult, any Dark Jedi. But on Reddit Star Wars leaks, fans have certainly pointed out that the name Jedi Prime ties directly to that Last Jedi mosaic, and it, as yet unseen, the character. Some speculate that the Prime Jedi himself might even be the protagonist, or that we'll witness his fall from grace. Others say that it could be a literal race, maybe the biggest lightsaber showdown ever, probably not, but it's fun to talk about. I mean, for now, treat any villain talk as a hot rumor and a cool theory. Nothing's confirmed until we see, and you can definitely let me know what you think. Now, when could we actually see this movie? When would it hit the big screen? Well, Disney has been mostly blank on the schedule for Star Wars after The Mandalorian and Grogu, May 2026. I mean, Bespin Bulletin and World of Real note that one release date announced is December 17th, 2027, but it's unassigned. So industry insiders guess Jedi Prime maybe takes that spot. I don't know. We've got Star Wars Starfighter as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, but I think it would be pushing it if it was 2027. I think it's more like 2028, but then again, I could be wrong. There is early stage production going on, and Mangold was busy with other films through 2024, and I think they just hired a co-writer too, so no cast has been revealed. I think 2027 sounds optimistic. I think it could definitely slide into 2028. Now, all the same, remember, Disney's historic placeholders. If Jedi Prime isn't ready, Disney might shuffle release dates, but for now, I say we pencil it in as 2028. There you have it, my friends. Rumored title, Jedi Prime. Came from a producer's comment in a magazine, not confirmed, but insiders took it serious. Timeline, 25,000 years before A New Hope, which is great. The dawn of the literal Jedi. Plot focus, origins of the Force, origins of the very first Jedi. And Mangold told himself describing the birth of the Force would be absolutely epic. It also fits in with the Last Jedi lore of the Prime Jedi founder on that planet, ahch-to. I should go definitely make sure I said that right. Anyway, villains. Nothing yet. Could be Rogue Jedi, could be early Sith. I mean, Legends named ahch-to, the first Sith Lord, so keep those in mind as we go. And release date, like I said, I'm going to guess 2028. I'll keep you guys posted if anything new comes. Let me know what you think. I'll see you soon.